Now to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where a controversy on dual citizenship, which is forbidden by law, is heating up and generating debates across the country. Minister of Justice Alexis Thambwe Mwamba earlier in the week said a list of Congolese persons holding second nationality had been transferred to the Ceni, which is the name for the Electoral Commission. One of the country's known opposition leaders, Moise Katumbi, is in that list. He is believed to hold Congolese and Italian citizenships, and the situation on the law is triggering a debate amongst lawyers in the country.
What could be the implications of this debate on dual citizenship in the DRC, particularly on the political level? Because, as you have mentioned, Jerry, the exiled opponent, Moise Katumbi, is on the list taken to the Electoral Commission. Joining us to talk about this is Christophe Rigaud, director of the Africa-Caribbean information site. Hello, Mr. Rigaud. As an observer and specialist on the DRC, how do you feel about the debate on the dual nationality of the presidential candidates on December the 23rd?
Alors moi, j'ai l'impression que ce débat sur la double nationalité, c'est...
I have the impression that this debate on dual nationality is in fact a trick by the government to choose its presidential candidates, precisely because it is an open secret to say that the majority of Congolese politicians have dual nationalities. Former Prime Minister Sami Badibanga was appointed Prime Minister even though he also had Belgian nationality. So it is true that the statements of the Minister of Justice tend to show that the government seeks to discredit some opposition figures. And we think in particular that of Moise Katumbi, who could not file his candidacy.
On pense notamment à Moïse Katumbi, qui n'a pas pu déposer sa candidature, mais dont le pouvoir l'accuse de...
But the government accuses him of having Italian nationality. But also we think of Jean-Pierre Bemba, who is with Moise Katumbi, the two main candidates who will compete against the candidates nominated by Joseph Kabila.
Contre le candidat désigné par Joseph Kabila.
And in your opinion, is the issue of dual citizenship a serious problem in the DRC? Well, this dual citizenship concerns very few Congolese people. They are often Congolese from the diaspora or the political or ruling class. I don't think there's any conflict over nationalities. I think it's actually a trick for the political power to actually, for the political authority or the government to actually choose its opponents. We really have the impression that Joseph Kabila's party wants to choose the candidates it wants to face, and that this is a pretext since the Congolese law prohibits dual citizenship, and that it was a pretext to be able to eliminate, if it so wishes, any candidate who would threaten Joseph Kabila's candidate.
La double nationalité, et que c'est un prétexte pour pouvoir éliminer, s'il le souhaite, tel ou tel candidat qui menacerait le dauphin de Joseph Kabila, parce qu'il faut savoir...
Because it should be known that the person who was chosen by Kabila to represent the presidential party, Emmanuel Ramazani Shidari, is someone who is very little known by the population, and that perhaps the government is a little afraid that personalities like Jean-Pierre Bemba, Moise Katumbi, can defeat him. And Moise Katumbi spoke 2 days ago at a press conference in Brussels, where he stated that the issue of dual nationality is nothing more than a tactic to create a diversion. According to his words, the Electoral Commission does not know how to organize elections. In your opinion, will this have an impact on the electoral calendar? Absolutely. Dual citizenship can be a stumbling block because if, for example, Jean-Pierre Bemba or other important opposition candidates had their candidacy invalidated, this could provoke a political crisis, and which would perhaps mean a new shift in the electoral calendar. So there may indeed be a risk on this.
Peut-être nouveau glissement du calendrier électoral. Donc effectivement, il peut y avoir un risque de ce côté-là.
And finally, Mr. Rigaud, the opposition contests the voting machine and the electoral register. Do you think that a clear and reassuring answer from the government to this matter would make it possible to have a peaceful election? Well, absolutely. The opposition concerns about the voting machine and also about the electoral register, which is a problem, are very worrying. On the voting machine, it is a machine that has never been tested. I will say on the field, knowing that the DRC is a country that is only 7% electrified, that there is a majority of voters who are illiterate and who may have difficulty using this machine.
Qu'il y a une majorité d'électeurs qui sont analphabètes et qui vont peut-être avoir du mal à se servir de cette machine. Je pense que
I think that can still be a source of dispute and conflict. And as for the electoral register, it is also a real problem because there are between 6 and 8 million voters who could be fictitious voters. And here again, we could move towards a poll that would be contested by the opposition, as was the case in 2011 when Joseph Kabila was re-elected. The greatest risk of these elections in the DRC is that they will be unreliable, not credible, not fair, and unfortunately, for the time being, they will be held.